If you watched my Paper Dreams review, you probably heard that one of the tips is that story logic can be ignored when necessary. They say that in animation, anything is possible. However, there's one principle of animation that directly acknowledges this fact, but it was never listed in The Illusion of Life. That all-important animation principle is called the Plausible Impossible. What is it exactly? Well, let me explain. The Plausible Impossible states that anything that's not possible in real life is plausible, which is another word for possible in the world of animation. It's been around longer than even Disney has. They didn't create it, but they were the first to acknowledge it. Specifically in the Disneyland episode, The Plausible Impossible. One of the earliest examples was the Egyptian gods. It's impossible for them to have animal heads and human bodies, but it was accepted as plausible at the time. Same with the dragon. It's accepted as real, although no one has ever seen the dragon. Greek mythology, with its centaurs and pegasi, is also cited as the plausible impossible. In animation, impossible actions will seem plausible if the viewer feels like that there's some factual basis in the action that they're watching. When an elevator starts up suddenly, we feel the sensation of being squashed and stretched. But in cartoons, they actually do get squashed and stretched. This is a matter of correctness of sensation. The sensations can be physical and psychological. It can apply to walking in midair before you realize you're walking in midair and start to fall off a cliff. Or being able to keep climbing up even though there's no more rope to climb up. The plausible impossible is also why we have talking inanimate objects, like in Beauty and the Beast. The plausible impossible can be effective for sound effects and in storytelling, like hearing a gunk when you hit someone on the head even though the head isn't hollow, or being able to eat an entire table of food all by yourself. Both actions are impossible, but they're plausible in animation. Of course, with the help of science and the changes of society these days, the lines between reality and the plausible and impossible have been getting more and more blurred. Certain inventions that were first shown in cartoons have become a reality. Certain foods that cartoonists probably believed people wouldn't actually attempt to make actually got made. And certain things that are seen in cartoons have been attempted in real life, usually to disastrous results. Which is why there's a specific warning on some cartoons telling kids not to repeat what they see on TV. To say the plausible impossible shouldn't be considered a principle of animation is like saying the notion of nothing is impossible if you believe is meaningless. Most of the principles of animation have been with us our whole lives, even before animation became a thing, such as anticipation, squash and stretch, follow through and overlapping action, and slow in and slow out. So why is it that the plausible impossible got left out? I couldn't answer that, but it doesn't make it any less important. Even those who didn't know what the plausible impossible was still ended up using it in their cartoons, which proves how important this hidden principle is. Well, that's going to do it for this video. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.